What's up guys, welcome back to Software Solutions, and today we're talking about Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and Warzone Season 2 crashing to the desktop without giving you a notification error, or you're getting a DirectX error, a black screen error, or your game just does not want to function at all. Now this is for all users out there, and this fixes is for all users out there. I'll leave timestamps down below for every single user out there. Now this is for all users out there, like I said, either you are playing this through Battle.net like me, or you're playing this through Steam, or you're playing this through the Xbox Game Pass, and I can show you how to fix this game for all users out there. Now, if nothing of these methods work for you, if none of them work for you at all, then all you can do is email me right here at the top, and you can just email me there, and I can add you into my Discord. I do charge a service fee. Ladies and gentlemen, just bear this in mind. I do charge a service fee because it actually takes time and dedication to sit with you and go through your computer and fix this issue. Now, I'm going to go over every single solution that you can do right now at this very moment in 2025 with the latest season, which is Season 2 for Black Ops 6 and Warzone. Let's get straight into this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so the first thing I highly recommend you go ahead and do is this right here. Now, I know, yes, you might have tried everything that I'm about to show you, but there's going to be things inside here that I'm going to show you that you might have not tried. Okay, so the first thing I highly recommend you go ahead and do is click on the start button over here, go to settings, and come inside here where it says Windows settings. Now, it doesn't matter if you're Windows 10 or Windows 11, it doesn't matter. You're going to come to the update and security button and make sure that your Windows is up to date. As you can see, I have updates on my Windows that I actually need to go ahead and install. Now, I highly recommend that you go ahead and do this. It does not matter yet again if you're Windows 10 or 11. Keep your Windows up to date. I highly recommend doing this because Windows being up to date makes your games run correctly. All right, Windows needs to stay up to date and your games need to stay up to date, and that's just how this is. If your Windows is out of date and your games are up to date, things are going to clash. So please go ahead and update your Windows. It plays a very big role on the game itself functioning. All right, from here, you're going to click on the home button and you're going to come inside here. I highly recommend you go to gaming over here and you come to this where it says game bar and keep this on right now for Season 2, the latest season that's out right now for Black Ops 6 and Warzone. Please keep this on. You're going to come to game mode and make sure the game mode is turned on, and then you're going to come to graphics settings over here and click on this. Make sure that you have hardware accelerated GPU scheduling turned on. If you don't have this option, don't worry. You don't need this option if you do not have this option. If you do have this option and yours is off like this, it will ask you to restart your computer. But please go ahead and do it after my video. Don't do it while you are watching my video, because you're going to need to follow every single thing and then restart your computer in anyways. So if yours is off like this, please go ahead and turn it on, and it will ask you to restart your computer. Then you restart your computer after you watch my entire video. And if this works for you, smash the like button, leave a comment down below, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. If none of these options work for you, go ahead and email me. All right, from here, you're going to go to the home button over here and you're going to come to privacy. I highly recommend you scroll all the way down to the bottom and you're going to come to background apps. Background apps plays a big role on Call of Duty itself of how much VRAM usage is being used, how much CPU usage is being used, and then also your RAM, and then on top of it, your M.2, your SSD, or just your drive in general. Now, as you can see, I'm on Windows 10, and this is all my background apps running in the background if I allow them to run in the background by turning them on. Right now, all you can do if you are a Windows 10 user like me, you just click on this and it will disable every single background app. Now, if you're on Windows 11, please go ahead and disable your background apps. Now, with Windows 11, it's a bit more complicated. You have to individually disable your background apps one by one. Or there's programs out there that you could go ahead and use and disable your background apps much easier, where it's not one by one. You could do them all one time, but just go ahead and Google that and find out how to do that if you are on Windows 11. Anyway, so like I said, background apps, just go ahead and turn them off, and it plays a very big role in your game itself as well. Now, all you're going to need to do is just fuck out of this, and you're going to be on your desktop. Now, I highly recommend that you go ahead and do this as a next step. Okay, you're going to come here if you have GeForce Experience or you have the new NVIDIA app. I don't like the new NVIDIA app. It actually decreases FPS and it makes the games run worse that I'm currently running. And I tested this with all my games. So this is why I don't use the NVIDIA app. And as you can see, it's going to ask me to keep installing it. And I would always say not now, because fuck that program. Anyways, I don't use it. That's my own personal preference. If you're using it, that's fine with you guys, all right? If you're using that, that's good on you, all right? Cool, awesome. Drivers is a very important thing as well when it comes to this game crashing. Please go ahead and make sure that you're either on the latest graphics card drivers that's out right now at this very moment, which is 572.16 for NVIDIA users. And then obviously if you're an AMD user, please go ahead and be on the latest drivers. Now, I'm an NVIDIA user and I actually am running an older version. Now, you can roll back your drivers, and this can actually fix your game for you. And this is a thing that actually worked for a couple of my friends of this game not working, and they roll back their drivers, and now their game is working perfectly fine. It launches, they run their game, it doesn't crash on impact, it doesn't crash, give DirectX errors or anything like that. I'm running 566.36 right now, and just to prove that to you, I'll open up my MSI Afterburner, just move it from my other screen and show you that I'm using it right now at this very moment, which is 566.36. This is the version I'm running right now for Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and then Warzone as well. It's a very stable driver, and this is why I use it, because it's super stable. It runs the frames really well, runs the game really well, and the game actually functions on this driver. So I highly recommend rolling back your drivers, and it's very easy to do. Now, if you want to know how to do that, you can just go to Google. You have access to the internet, so just go to Google, type in the video driver download, and type in 566.36 and install it, and get it installed onto your machine, and have this driver running instead of the latest one, because the latest one is actually giving issues for some people out there. Not for everyone. A lot of people are getting away with the latest driver, and then a lot of people are not getting away with the latest driver, like me. I don't like this driver. It's actually giving me less performance, and it makes a lot of other stuff crash in general, not just Call of Duty. All right, let's jump straight into the next step. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so the next step I highly recommend you go ahead and do is just press the Windows key and R like this, and you're going to type in prefetch, just like this, and press enter. And you are going to say continue to this. I'm just going to move this from out of the screen, and you're going to be inside here in the prefetch folder, and I highly recommend you select anything inside here, press Ctrl and A to highlight everything, and press delete on your keyboard and just delete everything inside here and say skip, because Windows is currently using this file, so it can't be deleted. It's like trying to delete Windows itself while it's running, right? So once you are done doing this and you deleted it, you can just close out of this, press the Windows key and R once more. This time you're going to type in temp, just once like this, press enter, and it's going to open this up for you like this. You're going to click on anything inside here, press Ctrl and A to highlight everything again, just right click or just press delete on your keyboard and say delete and say continue. Then you're going to say skip, and do this for all current items and say skip, and it's going to delete everything inside there that it can, and everything that is still inside here is obviously being run by Windows at this very moment, so you can't delete it. Yet again, one more time, we're going to press the Windows key and R, and then this time we're going to put a percentage symbol in front of the P, and then a percentage symbol in front of the T, so it's percentage, temp, percentage, and press enter, and then open this up. Now, as you can see, here's this crack smoking company. You just click on anything inside here, highlight everything inside here, right click on it, say delete, and delete everything inside this folder as well. Do this for all current items and say skip, and then it's going to do this like this. Just give it some time. You might have way more things inside here, or you might have less things inside here. If you've done this already, then you'll have less things inside here. If you haven't done this already, you'll have way more things inside here. It is just, in general, dump stuff that is on your computer that is not important to your PC at all. As you can see, it's creating stuff as I'm doing this because I'm recording, and I have a lot of things open on my computer. So these things are being used by my PC right now at this very moment, and it can't be deleted. You're going to close out of this, and then I highly recommend you go ahead and do this. After you've done that, go to your recycling bin. This was on my other screen right now. Right click on it, say empty recycling bin, and say yes. It's going to say continue like this. Continue. That is 19 gigs I just deleted there, and that's just literally old files that's laying on your computer, which is just a lot of bullshit that you can go ahead and delete. Please go ahead and do that. It is just bloatware. Please go ahead and delete it. All right, let's jump straight into the next step. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so now we're going to jump straight into the Battle.net version, and I'll jump into the Steam version after this. Like I said, I'll leave timestamps down below. All right, so you're going to be inside Battle.net like this, and as you can see, there's an update for this, so you can actually just click on this and then go to restart and update. Just please go ahead and do that. Keep everything up to date. Please go ahead and do that. All right, you're going to come to this little gear icon over here, and you're going to go for check for updates, and just make sure you have the latest updates for Call of Duty in general. Please go ahead and do that, and make sure that you have the latest updates for Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and then Warzone as well, depending on which one you are playing, or if you are playing both. All right, you're going to click on this option again, and you're going to come inside here where it says show in Explorer. There's a game option, right? I'm just going to show you this. So it will be Call of Duty, and it will say where your game is installed. So if you don't know where your game is installed, this will actually show you where it is installed. If you don't know where it is installed on what drive, if you have multiple drives, or if you only have one drive, it makes it much easier for you. But if you have multiple drives, you can actually see where it's installed. Mine's on my D drive. So I'm going to close out of this. That's how you see where it's installed. You're going to click on this option once more, and you're going to go to Show in Explorer. Now, as you can see, I'm on my D drive, and as you can see, this is where Call of Duty is laying right now. And I called mine Call of Duty Warzone 3, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 6 new update. Now, that's the new update, which is Season 2. Now, I'm going to go one back. This is all you're going to need to do, ladies and gentlemen. Click one back. Now, mine is called Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. I can call it whatever I want. You can call these folders whatever you want, but I highly recommend then just clicking once back and click on this over here. Yours might just be called Call of Duty in general, because I renamed my folder. If you didn't rename your folder, it won't be called Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. It might just be called Call of Duty HQ or Call of Duty just in general, as long as you see Call of Duty inside here. Now, this is where my Call of Duty is laying, right? If I open it up, it's going to look like this again. If I click one back, it will take me back here. All you're going to need to do is right click on it and then rename it. So now I'm going to call it Call of Duty Season 2. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to rename it to Call of Duty Season 2. Right? Now, just bear in mind where your game is installed. Just bear in mind where it is. As you can see, this PC, it will say something here for you. And then your Call of Duty. And then your folder you just renamed. Okay? Now, as you can see there, the whole game entirely with everything I have installed is 356 gigs. That's the entire game, and that's with a lot of other games inside here. Yours might be smaller, yours might be bigger. Depends on how much Call of Duties you have installed, like single player, multiplayer, all those kind of things, Warzone, whatever the case might be. Now you can just completely fuck out of this, and as you can see that Battle.net didn't realize that I just did that, so it still says play. Yours might say install right now at this very moment and locate the game here at the bottom. If it doesn't do that, there we go. I just did it right now as I was talking. It will start showing this. If it doesn't do that, ladies and gentlemen, if yours doesn't do it and your computer's taking too long to realize what you have done inside the folder for Battle.net itself, and it still says play here, and it doesn't say install and locate the game, go over here and then just exit out of your Battle.net and restart your Battle.net itself. So now Battle.net will restart like this, and it will log you in like this, and you're going to get into Battle.net again, and then it's going to show you this over here that I just showed you now, which is this right here, where it says install and locate the game. You're going to click on locate the game, and then go to the drive where your game is installed. Mine's over here, and then I go to Call of Duty, and I go to Call of Duty Season 2 that I renamed. Now, you're not going to double click on this and select anything inside here. You're just going to select the folder itself, let it be highlighted, and say select folder. Now it will do this, ladies and gentlemen. You'll see this will change. It will say initializing, updating, and then it's going to say play. Now, for most people out there on the Battle.net version, this actually works just by renaming the folder, and it will actually work for you when it comes to Battle.net. Trust me, this is actually a thing, and I know Call of Duty is fucking weird, and the developers doesn't care about the community, so they won't release something of their own video. So Call of Duty will not make a video on YouTube or some shit like that and show you how to fix this. It's because the Call of Duty company themselves and the developers do not care about the people that can't play this game. They don't care about them. They care about making money, and that's all they care about. That's literally all they care about, is literally microtransactions, selling skins, selling new things, and just in general, they won't care. If you're going to go through the Call of Duty, like let's say, for instance, you send them a support ticket or something like that, they are not going to get back to you. They're not going to help you. Trust me. Trust me, for the love of fuck, don't even waste your time on sending them a message. They are not going to help you. And they're most likely, if they do get back to you, they're most likely going to tell you it's some bullshit thing. Like, for instance, you need to restart your router, or your internet's not correct, or something like that. It has nothing to do with that, because all your other games are running perfectly fine. Why is Call of Duty not running? Why is it not responding? Why is it crashing to the desktop? What's wrong with COD? Okay, so like I said, ladies and gentlemen, this is one way of fixing it. Please go ahead and try this, ladies and gentlemen, and then you can click play and see if this actually works for you. All right, please go ahead and do that. All right, I'm just going to minimize out of this, and before I jump into the Steam version, ladies and gentlemen, there's something that a lot of people are doing right now at this very moment with their latest computers and stuff like that, is using XMP in their BIOS. Now, if you're familiarized with XMP and what XMP is, and maybe you don't know what XMP is and your computer already did it for you, or you have a pre-built machine and XMP is enabled, right? Please go into your BIOS and disable XMP. XMP is a very big thing that makes Call of Duty crash either on Battle.net, if you're playing this game on Battle.net like this, or on Steam like this, okay? XMP is actually a thing. That's just so you can make your RAM run at the speed that you bought it at. So if you bought RAM that runs at 6,000 megahertz or something like that, you put XMP on inside your BIOS to enable it, and then your RAM will run at 6,000 megahertz. I'm just going to make an example to you. If I go to Task Manager over here, and I go to Performance, and I go to my memory, as you can see, I'm running 6,000 megahertz. It's because I have XMP enabled on my motherboard inside my BIOS, and my game runs perfectly fine. It actually does not crash with XMP. A lot of people actually crash with XMP. So bear this in mind. If you are new and you don't know what you're doing, just go into the BIOS and you'll see something called XMP, or you could just Google a video or just Google how to disable XMP in general. You get a profile 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a lot of versions depending on the motherboard you are running right now, this very moment. I'm running an MSI motherboard, so it really does depend on what motherboard you are running, where your XMP is going to be. Just go ahead and disable it. You might just disable that, restart your computer, come into Call of Duty, and it might just function perfectly fine without any errors. Please go ahead and test this out. It's a test that you're going to need to do, ladies and gentlemen. All right, doesn't matter if it's a pre-built or you built the machine yourself, or it's a hand down, or whatever the case might be. Just in general, whatever you're playing your game on right now on your PC, if XMP is enabled, make sure that it's disabled and try it out. If it still crashes, then it's not obviously XMP that's crashing your game. Right. Now we're going to jump straight into the Steam version. Now we're going to come to Steam over here, and you can see here's my Call of Duty. You're going to right click on it and go to properties like this, and you're going to see this over here. Now, something I highly recommend you go ahead and do is the very first thing that you're going to need to do as a Steam user and you're playing this game through Steam is having the in-game overlay disabled. So just go like this and turn it off. All right? That's what you're going to need to do. Please go ahead and do that. This can actually cause your game to crash as well on Steam. So disable the overlay. All right, from here, you're going to come to installed files, and you'll see that how much the game is installed. Yet again, yours might be bigger. I play my game through Battle.net. I don't play it through Steam. I actually installed this on Steam just to prove to you guys and show you guys what you can do in Steam to make this game run perfectly fine, because it runs perfectly fine on my Steam as well. So I went to go ahead and install this on my computer for you guys, not to basically go through what I'm going through right now, putting myself through trauma to just get this game up and running. But all you're going to need to do is follow my guidelines and you should be good to go. All right, so what you're going to need to do is click on this button over here which says verify integrity of game files. Go ahead and click on it. I'm just going to click on it and just to show you that I'm doing the same thing. Now it's going to validate the game files for you, and it's going to take a little while depending on how fast your drive is, depending on how much stuff you have on your drive, and depending on your computer itself, how fast it is. So this is now verifying my integrity of game files and seeing if there is any corrupt files in my Call of Duty. Okay, so if it starts downloading stuff, for instance, I'm just going to make an example for you. If I go to downloads, it's now, as you can see, validating my game files. It's making sure that all the files in my Call of Duty is correct, that nothing's broken, and that everything is running perfectly fine on my Steam version of Call of Duty if you're playing this through Steam. All right. Now you can go back to your home button and you can go back to Call of Duty, and as you can see, it's still validating. So it's going to be validating, and it's going to get all the way to the end of the validation and show me the play button. Now once this is done, which is going to take some time, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, you'll see this will take some time in general. All right, once this is done, okay, you are now going to do this. All right, so now you're going to right click on your Call of Duty once your game has completely validated everything and you see that your game is still not running after validating your game files. You're going to go to properties over here and you're going to come to install files again, and you can see it says here all files successfully validated, even though, like I said, this isn't every single Call of Duty on my Steam because I play it on Battle.net, ladies and gentlemen. I play it on Battle.net. It will, yours might say 10,000 files, 20,000 files, 30,000 files. It takes a long time to verify the game files. All right. Now, if this didn't work for you at all, it didn't work for you, and your game is still crashing, then just go to the browse button over here and it will take you to where your game is installed. Now, my Steam version is installed on my G drive. So it says Steam install, Steam apps, common, Call of Duty HQ. Now, this is where my game is installed. If I go to Common and I go to Call of Duty HQ, this is where my game is installed for Steam. Now, all you're going to need to do is right-click over here and open up a new folder and call it Call of Duty HQ, and then to say new like this, and that's it, right? Now it's going to be right by each other. If you refresh like this, it will be right by each other, and you'll see that this folder is empty that you just created, and this folder has your game in it. You're going to go inside here and then take everything inside this folder, everything inside of it, right click on it, say cut, go one back, and go into the new folder you just created and paste this inside here. Once it's pasted, you can go back and then go and delete the HQ folder, Call of Duty HQ. Keep this one over here that you just made, so you don't actually delete the game. You don't actually delete the game. You make Call of Duty think and Steam think that you deleted the game, but you actually moved it into a new folder. Now you want to make a new folder called Call of Duty HQ, and how you do that is you could just minimize this. If you don't want to get lost over here, you can just go here, then you right click and say manage and say uninstall and say uninstall. Then you click on install and you click on install again, and then it's going to start downloading the content. And as soon as it starts downloading like this, you click on pause, and you're going to right click, manage, uninstall, and click on uninstall. Now, like I said, if you minimize your thing and you know where your game is installed, you come back inside here. Now there's a new thing called Call of Duty HQ. Now what you're going to need to do is take this and select everything inside here. You can just click on anything, press Ctrl and A to highlight everything if you want to, or you can highlight it yourself just by doing this, just to make sure that you have everything inside here, and then right click on it and then say cut, go one back and go to Call of Duty HQ, and then paste this inside here, and then you can just go back, and then the Call of Duty HQ folder is now empty because you moved it into the new HQ folder over here, the new one it created. Now Steam knows about that one. Now you click on install, click on the same drive, click on install, and now it's going to not download your game, but validating. It's going to now go through your game files and find out if, yet again, if there's any corrupt files on your Steam. If something's missing, it will start downloading it for you inside here. It will start downloading it for you, and then go ahead and press play and see if the game works for you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if none of these options actually work for you, yet again, ladies and gentlemen, if none of these options work for you that I just showed you now, go ahead and email me right there. Like I said, I do charge a service fee. Bear in mind, I do charge a service fee. Just go ahead and email me right there. I can add you onto Discord and we can take it from there. All right. As always, hope this helped you. And if it did, smash the like button. If it didn't, make sure to email me. And as always, hope I helped the community out there that needed this. And as always, peace out.